Hello and welcome to RCSJ Today. I'm Diane Carbonetta. Today we'll take a look at the historic merger between Cumberland County College and Rowan College at Gloucester County. The product of this merger is the new Rowan College of South Jersey, the first regional community college in the state of New Jersey. Here to tell us more is the college's president, Dr. Frederick Keating. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Keating.
My pleasure, always.
Now, a merger between two New Jersey community colleges is a bold and unprecedented move. What inspired this innovative approach to higher education?
Well, that is the question of the day. It's totally unique in that these were two existing colleges as opposed to other parts of New Jersey in Atlantic and Cape, and I think Hunter and Somerset, where the other county did not have a college and wanted to become a part of one. So this was very unique. We were carving new pathway. The idea that we had existing institutions, they had their own boards of trustees, we had their own labor unions, faculty senates and such. So this really became a complicated task to try to figure out the merger, which was best for both. We are now 4 months old, as I like to say, at least operationally with regard to faculty and staff. And in that, we've learned that we still have some work to do. But I do believe the hardest part is behind us with regard to, again, the political relationship, the capital ownership, the operational budgets, how we're separating the money. We have a unified tuition rate, so we did establish a standard there for the student body. The labor considerations have all been settled and extended 1 year as part of the merger, so we have labor peace. So now we're focused on what we really wanted to be focused on, which was that the sector of county colleges in New Jersey are struggling with regard to enrollment and operational money. Our federal money is minimal. Our state money is pretty much in a hold harmless scenario for the last 10 years, basically the same amount. Cost of operational inflation and labor inflation is chasing it down. County money is great in Gloucester and Cumberland, tremendous support. Both counties' freeholder boards are very supportive of their county colleges. So now in the merger conversation, their vision was to put two together for the efficiency of operation. So it started with administration, one president. We go down there and we knock off the Noah's Ark aspect of parallel positioning. So we are operating on less dollar from governmental response. And the good news there is that the last source of revenue is the student. Right. So the focus of this merger, to answer your question, was really to get it down to where we can maintain affordability and access for the population of southern New Jersey. We have limited seats in higher education. Rutgers Camden, Stockton, Rowan University. The county college systems are even merged in Atlantic and Cape, at least from the two county perspective. So we don't have, in my opinion, seat availability. Lacking seat availability comes this idea of an outmigration of student population to other parts of the state, or more so in New Jersey's case, being number one in the country outside of New Jersey. So our students leave. And after in the taxpayer's perspective and our educational perspective, is we educate an individual from kindergarten to 12th grade, and then we say goodbye. And that investment has no return, as we say in business, a return on investment, ROI. So New Jersey is investing in our children and our young people, and then turning around and not giving them the opportunity. So the merger was put together to provide access, seats, and academic design, affordability, to let and keep the price down by two counties merging the operation and the cost of operation. And the last part was really, I think, because we had Rowan University in the game. So the two counties both looked at the fact that we in Gloucester had already put our name with Rowan, and that we were operating in complete partnership with Rowan, and Cumberland saw the value of that, wanted to be a participant, and did it by coming together with Gloucester to become Rowan College of South Jersey. So the third crown jewel in the conversation of why was that we now, Cumberland and Gloucester as counties and as one county college, enjoy the relationship of Rowan. And that goes in a lot of directions. Access, scholarship, affordability, guaranteed transfer. You don't even go through admissions, it's grade point average admission. 3+1, where we do the third year, which means the student is paying the third year. And Rowan University in the partnership has given us 400 beds where we have Rowan Choice. So you can have your cake and eat it too. You can live at the university, experience the university life, come away from home, but pay a lesser dollar by enrolling with us to get there. Obviously that is with the idea that Rowan would take the transfer and they would capture the population, which we think is the right thing, since we are two of the counties that obviously provide the most students, traditionally, historically, to Rowan University as the University of the South, if I can call it that. So again, the merger, I think, was the right thing at the right time for both governments, county governments. Never lost our focus on the student at the target of why. This was not political. This was not anything more than the county colleges are struggling. Why? Because the demographics of the Northeast Corridor, there's less graduates. And the money that comes from state and federal government is pretty well sealing off. County governments can only carry so much. There's only one pocket left, and that's student. And if we raise the tuition to chase inflation and aggressively have to go to one consideration, we're going to price them out, and then they lose access. So we're hoping the end game is that we would enhance enrollment, stabilize both institutions on shared money of operation, catch the growth of Rowan. Rowan University is pushing toward 20,000 students. We can commingle with that population and sustain our institutions in giving them the affordability to get there. It's a nice package. I think over time, I hope that the people of Gloucester, Cumberland, for sure, other counties now are looking at us, certainly in the South, that they recognize that we believe, and again, this is just a true belief, that this is the way I think the whole county college sector is going to move nationally, more toward four-year partnerships, because we can't stand alone. We're not strong enough at this time.
Rowan College recently held a groundbreaking for a medical school along with an economic development center as part of the Eds, Meds, and Commerce Corridor.
Exactly.
Can you tell us about that project and its benefits?
Yes, and your point about, in the question about the Eds and Meds corridor, that's a critical piece, that look at the merger. One thing that impressed me and our staff when we were talking to Cumberland initially is, if you look at the map, Gloucester and Cumberland counties are contiguous. So we literally attach, and the artery that connects us is Route 55. It struck us, it struck me every day, that this conversation of a corridor of education and medicine could be the design of all of the merger thought. So by having that, we have in Spear Hospital in Woodbury, now they just cut the ribbon in Harrison Township, and Vineland, they have a hospital. Those three hospitals literally straddle the three college and university system. We have Rowan College Gloucester in Deptford, we have the university obviously in Glassboro, and we have again Rowan College Cumberland in Vineland, adjacent to the hospital. So if you look at that map and look at that corridor, we in South Jersey, I believe, should use that as kind of the connective tissue of medicine, which then drives education, and education drives medicine. So with that and the idea that Rowan University has two medical schools, we, Rowan College of South Jersey, have the #1 nursing school in the state. Cumberland brought the LPN program into the fold as the #1 in the state. We're expanding our allied health and our behavioral health. We're going into respiratory therapy next year, within Spear asking us to do so because of the lack of therapists. So your question was, what's the groundbreaking? That is the medical piece is an annex of Rowan School of Osteopathic Medicine, the former UMDMJ in Stratford and Camden County. They're going to bring a branch campus to Gloucester. So we in Gloucester County, we will have our first medical school in our history. It'll have 150 new doctors coming in with an expansion of their application pool. They lack the ability to house them, therefore they're going to come to Gloucester as a branch. We're thrilled. They will bring 4 clinics with them for third years with attending. We as a student body can have our students mingled into the population of a medical school, and those medical school students are going to be a part of our population on our campus. As we do nursing and allied health and behavioral health, we will have clinical sites, we will have individuals in study of psychiatry, pediatrics, family practice, pain management. These will be the clinics that our students will have some exposure to. Now we know that this is not our medical school, but they are a partner, they're a part of the university, and it pushes us in Gloucester County to a delivery to the people, service of clinics, walk-in and the capability of getting service. Our students will be educated in part with it. Our faculty will be woven into it for training and understanding, and we will design our programs around their advisory with regard to where medicine is going. I personally and professionally was thrilled that we got the agreement with Rowan University to bring a piece. That conversation is now moving to Cumberland for a smaller annex piece of a smaller version of 3 clinics with, again, behavioral health. By that I mean we're going to start academically degrees in social work, psychology, sociology, and drug and alcohol rehabilitation. And that'll be our behavioral health component. These are all new to us, or we're going to expand them to degrees. We have some, but options. The other building quickly is the Workforce Development Center. That's the American Job Center now, as it's known, or the One Stop. I think they're currently housed over in, I believe it's in West Deptford. They're going to move into Deptford. They're going to come on the campus. Why? Because we talked to labor officials. It struck me as odd that the county workforce centers were not on the county college campuses. Talk about an eds and meds. That's a labor and education. That if individuals were going there for employment or to enhance employment, to return to college is probably part of that equation. To have it to say just go down the driveway, and there we have the connective idea of bringing you into the education arena to advance your credentials and your training, while we expand our offerings to not only degrees but certificates of industry. Individuals that can get an associate or even a certificate of maybe 30 credits that's industry valued that can go to work and then come back is our encouragement. So that building will be out there. So there's your eds and there's your meds. On a local level, look at it on a corridor as the big picture. And we see a little bit of a relationship there in that people that we can draw. We're trying to get out the county's vision in Gloucester, Cumberland's coming behind it, is to create almost like an education and medical center that would be out there, excuse me, attached to a college. Universities do it, but county colleges don't usually get in that arena. I think someone told me from Rowan Medicine that Gloucester County will be the only branch campus of a medical school on a county college campus in the United States. Because that marriage doesn't occur because of the level of academic credentialing. But since we have the university in our scope of run, we can do the biological science. We do 2 years, they do 2. You can apply to medical school. We can keep you right here on our soil and get you to be a doctor. Go through us, Rowan University completes here, the medical school is there. If you were one of those 150 applicants that was accepted, you never left this campus. Even high school with this high school's Allied Health Academy. You could stay on this campus from high school to becoming a DO. And that in itself is pretty remarkable. That's our goal and that was the vision. So by having them join the campus, other parties are now looking to go into this. This is a redevelopment project in partnership with Deptford Township and Gloucester County to put on that soil an expansion of medicine and education. So these are the first 2 buildings coming in. We already have plans for 3 more buildings.
Wow.
So maybe someday we can talk about that.
As part of the merger, the college's academic divisions underwent some changes. Can you give us some insight into that process and its purpose?
And it's a great point to segue over. To everything that I said about our partnership with Rowan, our branch campus relationship with Cumberland, our movement of a medical school of Rowan University onto our campus, begged us to take a look at our academic structure. So what we have done is we're going to be breaking, and we'll announce in January, we're going to be breaking up what is known as liberal arts or liberal studies. It had pretty much a conglomeration of multiple majors and options within it. That'll break out into 3 parts. One will be education and humanities. That will be driven at the education profession, knowing that we are attached to Rowan University School of Education, which is probably, I believe, last told, the largest in the New Jersey college network system. So their reputation for education is one of the best. In doing the humanities, we would bring in the English, the math, the sciences with regard to preparing people to teach it, but also people who want pure study of it with regard to higher education or other professions where it's a base degree. So that'll be one of the break-offs. Our behavioral piece, as I mentioned earlier quickly, we bundled that into what we're calling behavioral health. Okay. That will go over and join allied health. Allied health is our physical therapy, our nuclear medicine, our radiography, now the respiratory therapy. Things that we're getting into the health arena are in the allied health. Nutritional science, we're going to do registered dietitian work with Rowan. So moving that over there, our school, our division of nursing and health professions we'll have the health professions will break into two parts: behavioral health, allied health. So we're building a large division in what I'll call nursing and health profession. Education, as I said, with humanities will break out. The piece that will move over to the other side, more so at Cumberland with some Gloucester programming, is going to be our performing communication, radio, TV, film, and other, and fine and performing arts. So those three will be standing alone and specific to catch up to our other divisions, which, as I said, we're nursing and health profession. Our business studies is going to be on both campuses. Our relationship there with corporate business and the Rohr School of Business at Rowan. Our STEM division is growing every year: science, tech, engineering, and math. Our engineering component is growing beyond belief, actually, and we now are overlapping Rowan School of Engineering by the 2-year option. And criminal justice and law. Those will be our anchor divisions. I believe that they're more marketable and understandable to the public, that a student who's looking to come to us because of all this movement, that they needed a clear understanding of career path. So now, by naming the career paths to line up a little bit with the university transfer, I think there's more clarity. I want to be a social worker. I want to be a teacher. I want to be in the science field. I want to be engineering. I want to be in mathematics. I want to be in nursing. I want to be in one of the health professions. Criminal justice. We have the police academy and the fire academy. Law enforcement. We're looking at a degree in emergency management. We believe that by carving these standalone divisions with clarity of credential, training, where do I go from here, how much does it cost, and most importantly today, the return on investment. Are there jobs in this profession? And if they are, what do they pay in the Delaware Valley, Philadelphia, South Jersey region? So that we can give, I think, the families and the students that will be coming and looking at us now through this next winter, this idea of, this could be my first choice. I see a pathway here, so we're hoping.
Now, what will the merger mean for the college's 3+1 program? Will we see any changes there?
Yes, you will. The Secretary of Higher Education in New Jersey about a month ago put out a letter upon 3 county colleges' appeal to go to the baccalaureate. I, for one, hope I am working to see the day when county colleges can give baccalaureates. Gloucester and Burlington, as part of the Rowan family, with the Rowan approval and the state approval, it became law in New Jersey that county colleges with a 4-year partner can go up to the 3rd year. So we can go above, quote, our mission originally, which was an associate 2-year degree. By going up to the 3rd year, it begs the obvious question in my mind is, let's get the 4th and give the bachelor's degree. I believe we're capable. We have the quality of faculty. We have the doctoral level training that you need for that to go up to the upper level. I think the affordability question makes perfect sense, that if an individual wants to commute or live at choice and get a bachelor's degree, they shouldn't have to leave home if they don't want to. And if they can commute, that's $5,000 a year at our price times 4. That's a bachelor's degree for $20,000 if you don't need residential life. A bachelor's degree. Until that day comes, we have to hook on to Rowan University for completion. So 3+1 is literally that. You can do it through choice and live, or you can do it in commute, and you can commute for 4 because Rowan, 2 exits down on 55. So either campus, Cumberland or Gloucester, can now drive to us, South Jersey Rowan College, and then move on to the university for completion. And if you stack it without resident life, it's 5, 5, 5, and 12, maybe 14 under new pricing for Rowan for the 4th year. That's a $27,000, $29,000 bachelor's degree. To tell a family today you can get a bachelor's degree from Rowan University by going through us for $30,000, that's probably equal to, or in many cases less than, the freshman year at a 4-year school.
Right.
Now, Rowan itself, in the residential component and the freshman first full-time in, they're at about $25,000, $26,000. Why is money important? Because the credentials of which we speak, the degrees that they are seeking, I believe are going to require graduate level study. By the time this high school population here at GCIT and all the others come in and go through a 4-year, if they can complete it in 4, because historically many students are taking 5 to do 4 and 3 to do 2. That has to somewhat change, recognizing that family and jobs sometimes break that. But if they don't, they should come out on time for, again, the investment and the loan consideration. But let's go back to this programmatic attachment of 3+1. If we can't get the fourth, we're going to expand the third. So we are working with Rowan University today to take the 7 majors, because we only have it in 7 majors, 7 programs. We want it to be up to 10, and Rowan has agreed to take it even maybe to a dozen within the next year and a half to 2. If we could get that in the vicinity of 12 to 15 over the scope of our strategic plan, which is a 3-year expansion plan, that would open up a lot of opportunity in the 3rd year. So students would have the opportunity to stay with us for 3, go to Rowan for the 4th. I call it the capstone 4th year. The financials will follow by bed or no bed with room and board, and the cost will go on that. And to me, if affordability is the number one issue of the student and the family, but they don't want to surrender quality, they can go into the qualitative debate and come out with no debt or little debt, which I think is we're reading and hearing in our country that $1.5 trillion in student debt. It's more than the housing market and the stock consideration of when we went into recession. It could be our next. By that, I think people today are looking more at this return. Literally, I'm focused on return on investment. If you put that kind of money in, what am I going to get out? To me, this is the perfect storm. And the hard part is really to do things like this to get that message to the people. If you want to come in and talk about what we call guided pathway, come and see us, talk to our advisors, think about it, look at our website, talk to you work there. This idea that we can guide your pathway in all different directions. You can graduate from us and take that credential anywhere in this country. We're getting more calls from out of state that they want to know how to get into our relationship. Well, can we have a 90 credit transfer where they don't go in a 3-1, but they transfer the equivalent of 3 years of college to take and transfer direct? It's really a backdoor 3+1 out of state. It's fine with us as long as they'll do it because it benefits our student body. Yeah. Can we offer the quality of a 3rd year? Absolutely. We do it in RTF. We do it in radio, TV, and film, what we're experiencing here today.
While Rowan College of South Jersey is one distinct institution, each campus has maintained separate athletic teams, the Cumberland Dukes and the Gloucester Roadrunners. So what are the advantages of separate teams, and are there any plans for some friendly competition between them? It's a great question
because, believe it or not, it was one of the hardest pre-merger questions. Neither one wanted to give up.
A lot of team loyalty.
They didn't want to give up, especially baseball. Quick story, I know time is of the essence here, but last year in the Baseball World Series, Division III, junior college, guess who played each other at the national game in Tennessee, championship game, Gloucester and Cumberland. I was watching it online, and the announcers from Tennessee were saying, it's kind of funny to see 2 schools. Between us, we knocked out Texas, California, New York, some of the big junior college baseball programs in the country. Those 2 were the 2 left standing at the end of a national tournament. And the announcer from Tennessee said, yeah, I think that these 2 schools are both from South Jersey, and I understand they're even pretty close to each other. Little did he realize that within 2 weeks, they would be one college. And my joke in that arena was, if we took those 2 baseball teams on together as one team and put them on a field, they played for the championship. Imagine if they became one. However, we recognize that the quality of the campus life, the student life, the athletic opportunity, we didn't want to, again, shrink access to an athletic possibility, no differently than the campuses run their own Phi Theta Kappa, their own honor society academically. They have their own EOF branches. We tried to keep as many doors open geographically, locally. So sports is, we do have now the cup, the Presidential Cup that goes when we play each other. I asked our athletic directors on both campuses that we played soccer, men and women, one night. We used Rowan University's field. We were under the lights. We had the equivalent of a D3, Division III athletic contest. The men won from Cumberland and the women won from Gloucester, so I got lucky. We're going to do it again in basketball down at Rowan University, where we'll play men and women again. This is to try to establish the camaraderie, give the opportunity and the access to again, number of uniforms available to play. We try to ingrain that into our culture of who we are. We've studied the model in New York, where the New York multi-campus kind of community partnerships up there as that they kept their own athletic identities. The state approved it, the national approved it. Middle states acknowledged that as part of our accreditation that we were going to structure the institution. Back to the first question of how did you put the parts together. So some parts are side by side, some parts are commingled, some parts are singular. Athletics, we chose to take the path of two departments, and currently we're adding a women's track at Cumberland. We're going to try to enhance the number of athletic teams. We have site capability there. We have site capability up here to be able to expand. So it was part of the culture. And we wanted to respect the culture of both counties that they had in their athletic programs. Gloucester County has both schools, by the way, were 50 years old when they got married. So, we put it out there as, we were going to respect your past and respect the culture of the institution over that period of time. This is what it'll be hopefully for the next 50.
What do you see for the future of Rowan College of South Jersey?
Okay, the next 50. I see opportunity galore. I don't know how much of it will be on my time and tenure, but I think the table is set. We have geography on our side. We have political support. We now have other counties looking at it and the model. We're not doing that because we want to show other people this is, quote, how you do it. We want to do it because we believe it's in the best interest of the people who live in these counties. That's it. We have no motivation. We have no agenda. We didn't go into this, as I said earlier, with an idea of territorial grab or political control. None of that influenced it. I'm telling you on camera, none of that influenced it. This was an educational decision looked on two words, access and affordability. When we had the partnership with Rowan University, I can't express to you and the viewers how much that meant for a county college to be partnered with, not owned by, not merged with, but a premier partner of a four-year school. A four-year school that's growing in leaps and bounds. They're a research university. They're trying to move up in their status there to the next level. Two medical schools. You don't see that from Rowan. If you looked west, you will not see that until you hit Michigan State University. Allopathic and osteopathic medicine, MDDO. Their allied health division, their expansion into the sciences. We're working with them now over them creating a school of allied health, of which we're trying to set the underpinnings for that program. What are the opportunities? They're endless. I believe that if academic growth continues, I think if New Jersey eventually comes around to the baccalaureate, where we can work hand in hand with Rowan over the baccalaureate offerings, we can move into the applied sciences, which is really not a BA or a BS, but a BAS, a Bachelor of Applied Science. There's a whole arena of employment in there, mechatronics, process technology, aviation. There's things in there that traditional colleges don't go to that we can go to. Therefore, we could create a lane of a baccalaureate for us there where Rowan would just come in and support us. Others we can do with them. I would like to see the 3-1 convert to baccalaureate, if not the expansion of a 3-1. That gets the students here up to an upper level. Rowan brings more programs here. Once we integrate the medical school and the workforce development center into our culture and our environment, there's I already know of 3 possible buildings behind it, 1 with the high school, 2 with the allied health aspect. 1 could be allied health, 1 could be behavioral health, where we could establish with a medical school right next door, clinical practice, and have our students study it and be a part of it, have this region get the service of this college. If we don't protect ourselves in South Jersey, most of the revenue, the resource, and the educational opportunity will stay in the northern part of our state. I don't believe that's right. We don't believe it's right. Rowan University is now the engine of the South. They are the engine of the South. And I think if we can come in and mold Cumberland, Gloucester, and anyone else who wants to talk, or they do it on their own, if we can mesh and mold that in. We have Rutgers and Camden, and Rutgers-Camden's a great partner. We still have an affiliation, strong affiliation with Stockton. Rowan is our premier partner. So we have tiers of involvement. Rowan is at the top. Rutgers, Camden, and Stockton are at the second level. Everybody else who wants to be a part of us for our student transfer and relationship, we still have open door policy. We have 100 and some colleges and universities that have articulation agreements that they will take our students and our transfer. We have open enrollment and decision day coming up, I think, in a few weeks. The more we open and expose it, the more opportunity, and that's the word I'll close on. I said it at the merger. This is really building opportunity. What we do with it is up to us. But the student has now an opportunity they've never had before in southern New Jersey, or even in New Jersey for that matter. And I think it's being modeled and looked at around the country. I'm still working and dealing with people in Florida with their state conversion from county college to state college. They have multi-county draws in their network. I'm talking to people in Texas and California. We're looking at their model of the bachelor's degree on a pilot program. I really think that the future is what New Jersey wants to make of it. I think we're setting the table. And I believe that was what our mission was, to get this in and see where it goes. The leadership politically, the state, our Senate president, these are the people that have pushed and encouraged us to go forward. Our county freeholders, they actually allowed this to happen with a vision of where this could go. And I think it serves the people well. I don't care how you look at it from a political perspective, from a financial perspective, it's sound. From an educational perspective, I think it's a whole new day, and proud to be a part of it.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot on the horizon to be excited about at Rowan College of South Jersey. Thank you so much for taking the time to update us.
Thanks for letting me get the message out. I'd like to come back.
We'd love to have you back. That's all for this episode of RCSJ Today. Thanks so much for watching.